The Forgotten Reckon, the year 2147, humanity teetered on the brink of extinction. The Great Collapse had begun decades earlier. Triggered by a cascade of environmental disasters, resource wars, and the unrelenting advance of the Xarath Dominion and alien empire that viewed Earth as a ripe conquest, the Xarath, with their sleek obsidian fleets and bioengineered warriors, blockaded the solar system, cutting off all escape routes. Billions had perished in the initial invasions, and the survivors huddled in underground bunkers or fortified cities, scraping by on recycled air and synthetic rations. Hope was a luxury few could afford. Elias Thorne was one of those survivors, a grizzled engineer in his late 40s, with calloused hands scarred from years of tinkering with salvage tech. He lived in the ruins of New Angeles, a sprawling megacity reduced to a labyrinth of crumbling skyscrapers and radiation-scorched streets. Elias wasn't a soldier or a scientist. He was a fixer, in a world where machines were the difference between life and death. He repaired hydroponic farms, jury-rigged power grids, and occasionally pieced together weapons for the resistance fighters. But deep down, Elias dreamed of something more of the stars his ancestors had once reached for, one stormy night. As acid rain pelted the corrugated metal roof of his workshop, Elias received an encrypted message from an old contact in the Resistance. "Found something big," it read. "Old Earth tech. Buried in the Nevada wastes. Coordinates attached. Come alone." Intrigued and desperate for a break from the monotony of survival, Elias packed his tools into a battered hover truck and set out at dawn. The journey took him through desolate badlands, dodging Xarath patrols and mutant scavengers. After hours of navigating treacherous terrain, he arrived at the coordinates, a massive crater hidden beneath shifting sands. At its center lay the wreckage of a colossal starship, half buried and overgrown with desert vines. Elias's heart raced as he approached. The ship was unlike anything he'd seen in the Resistance archives. It was enormous, easily a kilometer long, with a hull of iridescent alloy that shimmered faintly under the sun. Ancient markings adorned its side, USS Odyssey. Legends whispered of the Odyssey, a prototype faster-than-light vessel from the pre-collapse era. Lost during its maiden voyage in 2098, it was said to have vanished into a wormhole, carrying humanity's boldest explorers. If this was it, Elias had stumbled upon a myth made real. Climbing aboard through a breached airlock, Elias activated his flashlight. The interior was a frozen tomb, corridors lined with dust-covered consoles. Cryopods shattered and empty, and bulkheads twisted from some catastrophic event. He made his way to the engineering deck, his boots echoing in the silence. The main reactor was offline, its quantum core fractured. But as he scanned the systems, Elias realized the ship wasn't dead, it was dormant. Diagnostic readouts flickered to life on his portable scanner, revealing that the Odyssey possessed an experimental drive, the Alcubierre metric engine, capable of warping space-time itself. This could change everything, Elias muttered, his mind racing. If he could repair it, the Odyssey might punch through the Xarath blockade, offering a way out for the remnants of humanity. But the task was daunting. The core needed rare isotopes, the navigation AI was corrupted, and structural integrity was at 40%. Elias set up camp in the engine room, scavenging parts from the ship's stores and his own supplies. Days turned into weeks. Elias worked tirelessly, welding conduits, recalibrating sensors, and hacking into the AI's neural net. He encountered setbacks, a power surge that nearly electrocuted him, hull breaches that exposed him to radiation, and hallucinations from exhaustion. In his delirium, he imagined the ghosts of the original crew, whispering encouragement. "Humans don't quit," one spectral voice seemed to say. "We adapt. We overcome." As he delved deeper, Elias uncovered logs from Captain Emilia Reyes, the Odyssey's commander. "We've breached the anomaly," her final entry read. "Temporal distortions detected. If we make it back, this ship will revolutionize travel. For humanity's future." The logs revealed the ship had been flung across time and space, crash landing on Earth in the past. Wait. No, the future? The time stamps were inconsistent. suggesting the Odyssey had looped through a temporal rift. Elias paused, piecing it together. The ship hadn't just traveled space. It had skimmed the edges of time. That explained the legends. It had vanished and reappeared in the collapse era. But more importantly, the drive could be tuned to create stable wormholes, bypassing blockades entirely. One night, as Elias finally powered up the auxiliary systems, alarms blared. Xarath scouts had detected the energy spike. A squad of bio-armored warriors descended on the crater, their plasma rifles humming. Elias barricaded himself in the bridge, activating the ship's automated defenses. Ancient turrets sputtered to life, mowing down the invaders with kinetic rounds. In the chaos, Elias fought hand-to-hand with a surviving Xarath. Using a makeshift plasma cutter to sever its tentacles, panting, covered in ichor, Elias realized he couldn't stay. He needed help-hand resources. Broadcasting a distress signal to the Resistance, he hoped allies would come. But as the sun set, he wondered if repairing the Odyssey was a fool's errand or humanity's salvation. Allies and adversaries' word of the Odyssey spread like wildfire through the Resistance networks. Within days, a convoy arrived. Hardened fighters, scientists, and refugees seeking refuge. Leading them was Dr. Lena Voss, a brilliant physicist with a cybernetic arm and a no-nonsense attitude. "Thorne," she said, shaking his hand, "if half of what I've heard is true, this ship could be our ticket out." Together, they formed a ragtag crew. Elias handled engineering, Lena the drive systems, and a young hacker named Jox oversaw the AI restoration. They scavenged nearby ruins for parts, raiding abandoned Xarath outposts for isotopes. The work was grueling, but progress came swiftly. The reactor hummed to life, navigation charts updated with smuggled star maps, and the hull reinforced with salvaged armor. As they labored, tensions rose. Not everyone believed in the mission. A faction led by Marcus Hale, a battle-scarred veteran, argued for using the ship as a weapon against the Xarath fleet. "Why run?" he growled during a heated meeting in the mess hall. "We fight. Humans have bled for this rock. We don't abandon it," Elias countered. "Fighting's noble, but survival's smarter. The Odyssey can take us to New World's colonies untouched by the Dominion. We rebuild. Come back stronger." The debate raged, but Lena's calculations sealed it. The drive could generate a wormhole large enough for a fleet, but only once before needing a full overhaul. Evacuation was the priority. Meanwhile, Elias delved into the ship's archives, uncovering secrets. The Odyssey wasn't just to explore. It was an ark. Hidden compartments held genetic bank seeds, embryos, and DNA from Earth's biodiversity. This was meant for colonization, Elias realized. Humanity's insurance policy. But danger loomed. Xarath reinforcements arrived, besieging the crater. The crew mounted a defense, using the ship's shields and turrets to hold them off. In a daring raid, Elias and Jox infiltrated a Xarath camp, stealing a cloaking device to mask the Odyssey's signature. During the raid, Elias faced a moral quandary. They captured a Xarath engineer, a non-combatant pleading for mercy in broken English. "We, not all warriors," it hissed. Elias hesitated, then let it go. "Humans aren't monsters," he said. That act of compassion paid off. The engineer later sabotaged its own forces. Buying the crew time, as repairs neared completion, betrayal struck. Marcus, disillusioned, attempted a mutiny, locking down the bridge. "This ship stays and fights," he declared over the intercom. A fierce battle ensued. Crew versus crew in zero-G corridors. Elias, using his knowledge of the ship, vented atmosphere in key sections, isolating the mutineers. In the end, Marcus surrendered, exiled to the wastes. With the ship ready, they initiated a test jumper, short hop, to lunar orbit. The Alcubierre drive warped reality, stars streaking as they slipped through space. It worked. But upon return, they detected anomalies, temporal echoes, ghosts of alternate timelines. Lena theorized the drive interacted with quantum foam, potentially allowing glimpses into what-ifs. Elias experienced a vision, a timeline where humanity never collapsed, thriving among the stars. It fueled his resolve. "We're not just escaping," he told the crew. "We're reclaiming our destiny." The Xarath closed in, their dreadnoughts bombarding the site. The crew scrambled to launch, the Odyssey rising from the sands like a phoenix. The great exodus, the Odyssey, burst from Earth's atmosphere, Xarath interceptors in pursuit. Elias pushed the engines to their limit, weaving through orbital debris. "Wormhole coordinates locked," Lena shouted from navigation. "Engaging drive." Space folded, a shimmering portal opening before them. The ship plunged in, emerging light years away in the Alpha Centauri system. Cheers erupted on the bridge. They were free. But freedom came at a cost. The jump strained the drive, requiring immediate repairs. Scanning nearby planets, they found Proxima B habitable, if harsh. Landing the behemoth, they established a base camp, using the genetic banks to seed farms and clone livestock. Word spread back to Earth via quantum comms. Resistance fleets converged on hidden rally points, awaiting the Odyssey's return to guide them through wormholes. Elias led missions to ferry survivors, each jump risking detection. In one harrowing run, they encountered a Xarath armada. Outgunned, Elias improvised, hacking the drive to create micro-wormholes, teleporting enemy ships into suns. "Human ingenuity," he grinned, as explosions lit the void. As colonies grew, Elias uncovered the drive's true potential. Tuning it, he accessed temporal rifts, pulling resources from parallel Earthstech, knowledge, even lost loved ones' echoes. But meddling with time had consequences. Paradoxes rippled, causing anomalies like duplicated crew members or reversed aging, Lena warned. "We're playing God," Elias nodded but pressed on. "Better us than the Xarath." The climax came during the final evacuation. With billions aboard a makeshift armada, the Odyssey led the charge against the blockade. Xarath forces amassed, their emperor broadcasting surrender demands. "Primitive apes," it sneered. "Your era ends," Elias broadcast back. "Humans don't end. We evolve." Activating a mega wormhole, the fleet surged through, but the Odyssey stayed behind, drawing fire to cover the escape. Sacrificing the ship? No. Elias had a plan. Overloading the drive, he created a temporal loop, trapping the Xarath fleet in an eternal chase while the Odyssey slipped away. Emerging in a new galaxy, humanity flourished. Elias, now a legend, reflected on the journey. Repairing a ship had repaired hope. In the HFY spirit, humans weren't just survivors. They were conquerors of fate.